Today, the danger of motorized gym walls, Monday at 6.
Tonight, several developing stories as we come on. The staggering estimate, more than 1,000 missing as authorities scour California's devastation. The death toll still rising, the air quality turning toxic. And what's next for tens of thousands left homeless? Finished with Mueller? The new interview and the messages President Trump is sending to the special counsel. And what he said about the Osama bin Laden raid that has some outraged. Deadly cruise mystery, the FBI now investigating a possible murder on board. A woman falling to her death near Aruba. Was she pushed? Crash course. The teenage race car driver losing control. Her car taking flight and slamming through a protective fence. Raining fire, a hot air balloon packed with fireworks exploding. Festival goers scrambling for cover. And Black Friday beware. The holiday shopping deals you can cash in on right now and the online scams you need to avoid.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. I'm Tom Yamas. And we begin tonight with the desperate search for the missing in California's deadliest wildfire on record. Authorities now reporting roughly 1,300 residents still unaccounted for in the Camp Fire in Northern California, imploring residents to check in, but this is nearly impossible for some as communications remain spotty. There are also mounting concerns about what's next for tens of thousands of residents left homeless and the sustainability of what you see here, makeshift tent cities and other shelters. President Trump toured the devastation Saturday with state officials. As air quality turns toxic, take a look at that, with smoke hanging low over several major cities and people using masks to help breathe. And while authorities have made progress containing the Camp Fire, it continues to burn with wind gusts threatening to breathe new life into the flames. ABC's Marcus Moore is in Chico.
More than a week after one of the nation's deadliest wildfires ravaged Northern California, tonight the suffering and the number of the missing continues to grow. Nearly 1,300 still unaccounted for. The search for the missing happening at shelters and tent camps like this, where white boards are filled with the names of the missing.
I would ask that people make every diligent effort to reach out to their friends and family and let them know they're okay. And then also check with us and let us know that they're okay so that we can devote our resources to locating people who haven't yet been accounted for.
President Trump touring parts of the disaster zones this weekend with California Governor Jerry Brown and Governor-elect Gavin Newsom, promising the full resources of the federal government. Nearly 79 have died across the state, 76 with the Camp Fire alone. Crews in hazmat suits with the grim task of trying to find incinerated bodies as firefighters continue to battle the flames. The air quality in the region an urgent concern, with smoke from the Camp Fire likened to smoking 11 cigarettes in a day. One of the many challenges facing thousands of displaced people near Paradise, a town burned from the map. A reported deadline to force some living in a Walmart parking lot from their place of refuge today came and went. But tonight there is growing concern about the sanitary conditions of these makeshift shelters. More than 1,000 people seeking shelter at a dozen locations, at least one of them already stricken with norovirus, at one point leaving dozens sick.
I'd like to feel sorry for myself, but when I think of all those people that didn't make it out, I'm very thankful to be here.
And Marcus Moore joins us now live from one of those 10 cities that has popped up outside of Paradise. Many families seeking new shelters, but Marcus, some remaining as well?
Yeah, that's right, Tom. You can see the dozens of tents just behind me here, but the concern here now is the rain that will come on Tuesday. And while it may help firefighters in their battle against the Camp Fire, it presents a real danger for the people here, including the potential for flooding and, Tom, even more unsanitary conditions.
So many out there living in those tents. All right, Marcus, thank you. Next tonight to the White House, where President Trump says he has completed his answers for special counsel Robert Mueller and that he wrote them himself. The president also defending acting Attorney General Matthew Whitaker, saying he has free rein to limit Mueller's investigation. But while the president may think he's finished answering questions, the special counsel has yet to reveal his timeline. Here's ABC White House correspondent Tara Palmieri.
Tonight, President Trump making it clear he alone is the one answering special counsel Robert Mueller's questions.
Your team is preparing written answers to questions about...
No, not my team. I'm preparing written answers. I'm the one that does the answer.
Those answers are now finished, and he says will be submitted soon. The president also all but ruling out a sit-down interview.
I think we've wasted enough time on this witch hunt, and the answer is probably we're finished.
When it comes to acting Attorney General Matthew Whitaker, the president saying he has free rein to limit the Mueller probe.
If Whitaker decides in any way to limit or curtail the Mueller investigation, are you okay with that?
Look, it's going to be up to him. I think he's very well aware politically. I think he's astute politically, and he's going to do what's right. I really believe he's going to do what's right.
In the past, Whitaker has been critical of the case and laid out how it could be stifled.
I could see a scenario where Jeff Sessions is replaced with a recess appointment, and that Attorney General doesn't fire Bob Mueller, but he just reduces his budget so low that his investigation grinds to almost a halt.
Today, Democrat Adam Schiff claimed Whitaker's temporary appointment should require a Senate approval, calling it unconstitutional.
The biggest flaw, from my point of view, is that he was chosen for the purpose of interfering with the Mueller investigation. He auditioned for the part by going on TV and saying he could hobble the investigation.
Trump claims he was unaware of Whitaker's position and went on Twitter to blast Schiff, spelling his name as an expletive.
Tara Palmieri joins us now from the White House. President Trump also making news for something he said about retired Admiral Bill McRaven, who commanded that operation that killed Osama bin Laden. The president responding to McRaven's claim that his attacks on the media are the greatest threat to democracy he's seen in his life. Here's the president.
He's a Hillary Clinton backer and an Obama backer. And frankly,
He was a Navy SEAL.
wouldn't it have been nice if we got Osama bin Laden a lot sooner than that? Wouldn't it have been nice? You know, think of this, living in Pakistan, beautifully in Pakistan, in what I guess they considered a nice mansion. I don't know, I've seen nicer.
And Tara, McRaven firing back at the president tonight?
Tom, Admiral McRaven is standing by his comment and pushing back on the president for saying that he supported Hillary Clinton in 2016. He says he didn't support any candidates. He said in a statement to CNN, quote, "I'm a fan of President Obama and President George W. Bush, both of whom I worked for." He added that he admires presidents who, quote, "uphold the dignity of the office." Tom?
Tara Palmieri for us tonight. Tara, thank you. Next tonight, new development in the murder of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi, with the president now acknowledging he's been briefed on an audio recording of the writer's final moments. The tape confirmed after the CIA reportedly concluded Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince ordered the killing inside of the Saudi consulate in Turkey. Tonight, the major question, will the president take action against a key ally who denies having any role in the death? Here's ABC senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell.
Tonight, the president for the first time admitting the U.S. has a secret recording of the murder of Washington Post writer Jamal Khashoggi, killed shortly after walking inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, but that he refuses to listen to it.
We have the tape. I don't want to hear the tape.
Why don't you want to hear it, sir?
Because it's a suffering tape. It's a terrible tape. I've been fully briefed on it. There's no reason for me to hear it.
Khashoggi was a U.S. resident, but as a Saudi citizen, he was one of the most prominent critics of the ruling royal family and the Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman. Intelligence sources telling the Washington Post the CIA has concluded it was the Crown Prince who ordered the assassination, but Trump calling that premature.
Did MBS lie to you, sir?
I don't know. You know, who can really know? But I can say this. He's got many people now that say he had no knowledge.
The Saudis have vehemently denied the murder was ordered by bin Salman, instead calling it a rogue operation. The Saudi ambassador to the US, who's the Crown Prince's brother, in a statement calling the claims in the purported CIA assessment false. But members of Congress from both parties now speaking out, saying they also believe the Crown Prince was behind the murder plot.
He's irrational, he's unhinged, and I think he's done a lot of damage to the relationship between the United States and Saudi Arabia.
Tom, there's now growing pressure all round on the Trump administration to respond to growing allegations about the Crown Prince's role, saying there'll be a new assessment Tuesday. Pressure too on Turkey to publicly release those tapes, but above all on Saudi Arabia to provide a credible explanation about who really ordered the murder of Jamal Khashoggi. Tom?
Ian Pannell for us tonight. Ian, thank you. We now turn to Florida, where the Senate race is officially over after nearly 2 weeks and a mandatory recount by hand. Here's ABC's Stephanie Ramos with the votes now counted.
Tonight, it took two drama-filled recounts before Republican Rick Scott was officially declared the winner in Florida's contentious Senate race. State election officials racing to meet today's noon deadline.
We made it with 1 second to spare.
After the last recount, Scott's razor-thin lead, just 10,000 votes. It's been 12 days of tension, but three-term Senator Bill Nelson conceding today.
Well, things worked out a little differently than Grace and I had hoped, but let me say I by no measure feel defeated.
Complicating the recounts even more this weekend, missing ballots, chaos and questions plaguing Broward County, Florida, when election officials discovered more than 2,000 ballots missing.
The ballots are in this building. There would be nowhere else for them to be.
In the race for governor, Tallahassee's Democratic Mayor Andrew Gillum conceded the governor's race to Republican Ron DeSantis.
RJ and I wanted to take a moment to congratulate Mr. DeSantis.
Meanwhile, President Trump, who tweeted his support of Scott today, claiming victory in the recently decided Georgia governor's race.
Hello, Georgia!
Which had Oprah Winfrey stumping for the Democrat.
And I went against President Obama and Oprah Winfrey and Michelle Obama in a great state called Georgia for the governor.
All right, let's get right to Stephanie Ramos tonight. And Stephanie, President Trump is still boasting about Republican success in the midterms, but there was also a significant win for Democrats in California.
Absolutely, Tom. California is a blue state, with some of the suburbs, though, of Los Angeles, like in Orange County, have been traditionally very conservative for decades. But over the weekend, Democrat Gil Cisneros won a closely watched House race, turning all 4 House seats in Orange County, one of the most conservative areas in the nation, blue. Tom.
Stephanie Ramos from Capitol Hill tonight. Stephanie, thank you. Moving on now to the deadly cruise ship mystery. The Princess cruise ship returning to port in Fort Lauderdale with investigators, including the FBI, waiting after a 52-year-old woman fell to her death from a 14th-story balcony, and with authorities looking into the possibility she was pushed. Here's ABC's Ariel Reshef.
Tonight, the mystery deepening in the death of a woman on board this Princess cruise ship as authorities comb the scene for clues. The 3,600-person vessel now docked in Florida. Passengers like Logan Tignor speaking out for the first time.
I would never expect that would happen on a cruise.
Saying the PA system sounded in the middle of the night, making an ominous announcement.
It was a rude awakening at 4 o'clock. They made the announcement right into our rooms.
News of the tragedy soon spreading.
We only found out afterwards when we arrived in Aruba that an accident had taken place. We couldn't get off the ship until the local authorities gave us permission.
The 52-year-old woman plummeting to her death onto a lifeboat. Aruban media reporting it happened after a struggle with a man. The FBI investigating the case as a possible murder. The woman's husband traveling with her on the trip, not considered a suspect. Princess Cruises saying, "We are cooperating fully with the investigating authorities and offer our sincere condolences to the family and those affected."
And Tom, the FBI tells ABC News it is working with Aruban authorities to investigate all angles, only saying the woman died of unnatural causes. Tom?
Ariel Reshef for us tonight. Ariel, thank you. Next tonight, just some wintry weather we're tracking as we begin the busy Thanksgiving week. It was a snow bowl for Michigan State and Nebraska during their game in Lincoln. And tonight, a new Clipper system taking aim from the Great Lakes to the northeast, while the west may finally get rain it so desperately needs. ABC senior meteorologist Rob Marciano is tracking it all. Hey, Rob.
Hi, Tom. You know, folks' nerves are afraid after the snowstorm this past week. This one not as big, but it is going to impact some travel. So let's get to it. I think most of the bigger cities along I-95 will be okay tonight, Monday into Tuesday. But Albany and folks from I-90 north will see some wintry precipitation accumulating again. Incoming cold behind that for Thanksgiving, but dry for most of the country for the big travel day on Wednesday, with the exception of the West Coast. And here comes that rain you mentioned coming in Tuesday night into Wednesday, and then another one coming in 2 days after that. Could have some heavy rain. We need the rain, Tom, but this could bring some mudslides into the burn areas.
All right, Rob, thanks so much. Moving on now, in the new interview set to air tonight with Monica Lewinsky, opening up about her affair with President Bill Clinton and revealing why she shared her secret with Linda Tripp. Here's ABC's Lana Zak.
Okay, great. Where do you want to work?
Tonight, in a new interview, Monica Lewinsky revealing what led her to confide to Linda Tripp about her affair with President Clinton, saying she felt Clinton first misled her about a future job and then froze her out when he was reelected.
I have this nagging insecurity. Maybe he just did all of these things his last 6 months because he was trying to keep me quiet during the election. how stupid am I? Those were the conditions, along with some other things, that led to me confiding in Linda Tripp.
In a new A&E documentary,